aqui. É isso aí, mais uma live. Ai, ai. Cadê esse corno que não aparece? Pá, 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 pá. Não, papai tá jogando agora. O quê? Para de mexer nessa merda. Caria. Não perturba mais não. Você fez aqui, sua bobada. Para de mexer nessas coisas, rapaz. Não sabe mexer, não mexe. Só olha os desenhos só, rapaz. Olha perto em cima e assiste. Não fica cutucando, não. Cadê o animalzinho? Deixa eu ligar pra esse cabeção. Yuri. Tô no Discord, cadê você, meu filho? Caralho! Oi. Fala, caralho.
Peraí. E amor, aconteceu?
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight? Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Blocks the jump in. The combo is there. Drive rush to try and keep up the attack. What are they thinking here? Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Fantastic reactions there. Both fighters have used up a generous amount of drive already. Answers that jump in with a perfectly timed parry. They made it look easy. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Was looking for that jump attack. The corner makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Jumps? And the throw ends the round. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Things are slow, experiencing burnout. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before he springs forward with the drive rush? Still scrapping for the drive rush to keep it going. The throw is tech. Both of our combatants are cooking up something. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Medium kick hit. Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. Nice. Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Like, oh, burnout triggered. A back throw for damage and vital positioning. Full S8. Oh, stun. Bad news is on the way. There's a burnout. One player is looking for them to finish the end with a level 3 super. Puts them on a t-shirt.
Tá doente?
We're going into the final round tied up. Which
Pô, você tá falando igual viado.
find out the win. Backdash to start. They're not taking any chances. Jumps up, picks up the counter. All in with a rush. Impact squash. Player 1 is an anti-air in the punch. Here crowns him from above. Both avoiding the wall like a plague. Oh my god, they just choked it up. Player blinks it, throws him. Okay, here we burns out. Player 1 is in a very
Que
good
isso?
spot.
Por que não saiu, velho?
Goes to the air. Somehow manages to block the jump in. There's a burnout. Comes off the tank and scores the win. I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell him what's good. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Decides to puff up while they can. Throws them to negate the block. They trade hits. And now, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Finds the time to squeeze in a buff. Takes a trip. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity.
Que isso? Tô usando o Kelly, pô.
Puts one in the pocket. Life lead is opening up, but that could still be overcome.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, velho.
Reacts to the throw. Alright, what's coming up next? Heading into the end game next.
Burro, rapaz. Tá um burro.
KO.
Por que se pegou o soco que você vai fazer?
Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Decides to buff up while they can. Nails the anti-air. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the experiencing burnout. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Jump. Genius read. Shows the medium kick. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. Connects with medium kick. Burnout activates. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very jumps hard. Jumps in. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Drive rush to keep it going. All in with the rush. Oh my, the protect. Plenty of health, full gauges, let's go. Anti-air in this one. Player 1 in that with confidence. Player 1 burn out, but they may have a plan here. This is gonna kill, no doubt about it.
Such a lovely game.
Outline zone. I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell him what's good. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Barely blocks the jump in. Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Are they trying to slow down the pace with a projectile? Oh. Puts one in the pocket. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. A drive rush to try and keep up the attack. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Uses a drive carry against the attack. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. The Vuha stalk to the brim. Look for them to turn up the heat now. Taking stock. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Both of them have entered burnout state, which will drastically change their approach to the fight. Oh, burnout triggered!
Nossa, velho.
Both fighters are barely alive. It's turned into a driveless fight. How will they play it? Medium kick hits. Gotta be careful. They're going for the super art.
Ah, o cara vai pro outro lado, velho.
Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. A quick breather. So they break forward some pressure to the opponent. The fighters return to the middle of the stage. Genius read. Oh, burnout
Ah,
triggered.
mano, como é que eu não defendi isso, cara?
Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Full SA meters on deck for both sides.
Olha isso aí, velho.
Like burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Knew the throw was coming. Oh my God! What super hard incoming? What were they thinking?
Corri.
Oh, in with the rock. What passion?
Rapaz!
This is gonna kill.
É
No
incrível,
doubt
cara.
about it.
Incrível.
No way. That win wasn't. That was 100% planned. That was
Yuri, me ensina a tirar essa porra desse cara falando aqui.
Let's
Depois.
believe it's time for that run.
Mano, eu não sei.
Medium kick hits. Decides to buff up while they can. Starts with jumping. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. Let's see how they apply their corner pressure in this situation. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. I can't keep track of these corners.
Isso não.
In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. No more drive gauge.
Isso, tô defendendo, porra.
Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Knockdown and player
Isso.
2 has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still within range to win this round.
Fui burro, né, viado?
With the throw, hitting them with the smart stuff. Player 2 with a big
Meu
first
Deus,
round
cara especial,
pickup.
meu Deus.
Can they close it out? Medium kick hit. Player 2 did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? Connect with medium kick. Uses the gauge for a super arm. Uses the gauge for the super. They are not playing around here.
Boom.
Oh, let's go. Opts for Shadow Ride. Denies the jump in. Oh, burnout triggered. Going in. Player 1 needs to use their SA gauge to burnout activates.
Eu não sei fazer aquele outro combo dele.
Sets up with the jump in.
Tem como que ele faz que batendo com um chute,
This
cara. Eu não
is
sei
going to
fazer.
hit for a critical art. You gotta imagine that this is not only gonna wreck their life bar, but also their nerves. Both of them back off. They may be preparing for the final exchange. Looking for a hole. Oh, could be the start of something. Player 2 can't use any flatlines on.
Mano, vamos tentar tirar esse negócio aí, pelo amor de Deus,
Brings
velho.
it home. Let's see if they can build
Puta que
themselves
pariu.
a streak.
Barulhado do caralho.
É mesmo, né, velho? Como é que faz, Yuri?
Vai lá pro menu lá, mano, no principal. Sai da sala aí.
E agora?
Vai em opções.
Ah,
Agora deixa eu procurar aqui que eu não sei não.
você tá vendo a live aí?
Tô não. Você vai fazer live?
É, mas não dá ninguém não, só pra deixar gravado os FTzinha.
Pera aí.
Como que eu botei essa porra, né, velho? Doideira. Mas aqui tem áudio aqui, ó. Tem exibição, áudio, idioma, gráficos. Idioma, não. Câmera, controle.
Vai em jogo.
Jogo? Tá, tô
Isso.
aqui já.
Aí
Isso.
vai em configuração do modo torneio local.
Caralho, eu entrei. Configuração. Isso, pronto. Sim.
Tá, o seu tá desligado ou tá ligado?
Ó, reverter configurações de voltar para os valores padrões.
O seu tá desligado ou tá ligado?
Não tá mostrando nada, tá sim ou não. Só tá mostrando essa opção. Reverter configurações. Ó, tá pedindo pra mim. Reverter configurações de volta para os valores padrão? Sim ou não?
Ah, coloca assim, pô.
E agora? Mudar a
Pera aí, tem que ver se é só isso mesmo. Tem que ver se é isso mesmo.
Voltar. Retornar. Isso. Outras permissões de configurações. Entra aqui pra ver. Ocultar tudo? Não. Personalizado? Não.
Não, pera aí.
Exibir tudo. Exibir tudo.
Deve ter tirado já.
Vai voltar então. Porque aqui tem aqui, ó. Tá vendo aqui, ó? Ué, por que não? Tá vendo que tem áudio aqui, ó. Ó, áudio, ó. Ah, não, mas é áudio. Ó, detalhe do volume dos efeitos, configurações de acessibilidade de batalha. Tá escutando? Configurações de luz de personagem. Outras configurações. Restaurar a configuração padrão.
Coloca isso aí. Restaurar a configuração padrão.
Tá. Sim. Pronto.
Tá pra você, ué. Mas, gente, eu sempre como, mano. Eu como meu arrozinho quietinho ali.
Botando o padrão.
Te convidei, doido.
Tá, mano. Calma aí. Sala personalizada, Yuri.
in for something special right here, right now.
Ih! Ih!
No one.
Let's see what they try to do.
Oi,
here
ó, a
in the first
desgraça
round.
falando aí.
Checking their opponent.
Tô ouvindo
Puts
daqui.
one in the pocket. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Player one in that dangerous burnout state. There's a corner switch. Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. The Fuha stalk to the brim. Look for them to turn up the heat now. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Taking stock. Somehow pushes back all the way to center
Tá
stage.
perdendo aqui, não posso bater ele.
Had the radar up and running. Okay, they trade hits. Life lead opens up. KO.
Boneca, eu não sei onde bater nessa boneca,
Player
velho.
one
Boneca
takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Opts for Shadow Ride. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Oh, easy tech. Sticks the jump in. Oh, burnout triggered. Player two in dire straits with first burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. They're both driveless. This is gonna get messy. Gloves up. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range.
Fiz isso.
Goes for the blow.
Caralho, fiz isso.
What'll happen here? Shadow Ride inbound. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages if that throw's gonna take off a chunk of damage. Life lead is all in with the
Amor.
catches out the game right there. This is gonna kill, no doubt about it. Closes it out.
Ó, Digi que é bagunça aqui não, hein?
This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Tem cara lá fora.
Quick medium poke. Sets up with the jump
Adoro
in.
isso.
Very slick with the combo. Jumps up, bit all the throw connects. Carries them all the way to the corner in one go. Player all in with the
Meu Deus, velho.
Okay, here we go. Listen. Clutch parry.
Meu Deus, falou eu.
Caralho, velho.
Misericórdia.
This could really tip the scales. Good presence of mind to pull the pumps the brakes on the impact. Double reverse. Burnout, but they may have a plan here. Throws them. Oh, here we go. Player one can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Are you kidding me? Player one comes out on top of that fierce battle. Talk about a show. That match had it all. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Bumps up. They hit each other. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Good job blocking the jump. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player one is going to have a hard time managing the drive now. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Snacks them with the back. Looking for more, experiencing burnout. Player one in trouble with no drive.
Meu Jesus Cristo, tem misericórdia. Eu não pego dele, pega. Caralho, velho.
Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a
Show! Oh, oh! Vai brincar lá fora. 3-3, vai. Parte, parte.
connect with medium.
Ana, parte, parte, parte.
Throws him. What's
Sim.
next? Player one.
Ah, que isso? Que isso? Vai me responder?
Vou
matar pelo bumbum?
Can they keep the momentum? Scrapping it out up close. Going in. Player one. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Player one. Burnout activates. A quick breather. Jumps in. Are they oh my, the throw tag. All in with a rush. Their spacing is so on point, like anti-air in the clutch. Player two finds the target. How will they utilize this?
fazer um combo é difícil, velho. Esse combo do Bison não é difícil de ninguém.
Brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to that. Immediate jumping. He did some damage with that quick combo. Player 2 has the life. Knockdown. There's a corner switch. Decides to buff up while they can. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Both fighters decide to reset the pace and assess the situation. Impacts a no-go. No good umpire. Player 1 needs to deal with this burnout. Knockdown. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. The Fuhas stalk to the brim. Look for them to turn up the heat now. Oh, easy tech.
Meu Deus, o homem é uma muralha.
Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. What's their game plan here? This springs forward with a drive rush. They don't need to go for anything big. Even a light tap could win this round. KO! Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Post with a medium kick. Who's going to start things off? Escapes with a reversal. Player 1 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. They back the opponent into the corner. Now to apply the pressure. Jump. Super hearts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Player 2 holding on to them. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Medium kick. Drive rush to keep it going. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them
Se
to find
saísse no meu
out the win?
especial, talvez eu não ia me ferrar, mas
It's time for both fighters
Saiu.
to lay it all on the line. Gets a risky buff in.
Meu Deus,
That
faz
feeling
isso.
out phase is over. Time to get down to business. All stocked up. Where's the Fuhawk?
meu Deus, o que eu fiz, velho? Pulei com chute fraco.
Setting it all on the drive rush. Max SA Gate, there's a burnout. Oh my, the protect. Player 1 is looking at a grim situation. Oh, in with the rush. Player 2 is in a very good spot now. The throw is denied. Heat throw is denied. What a read.
Meu
You
Deus,
never
na
know
hora.
what can happen here. Lights it. Oh, then burns out.
Morri. Graças a Deus.
Burns out, but they may have a plan.
Ah, errei. Não dá pra falar, dava pra mandar, velho.
Knocks them out of the air. Dude, are you kidding me?
Meu Deus do céu, tô defendendo!
Só a vida, cara, você tá em burnout.
Clinches the win.
Cara, é
But that
muita
could
foda,
have
hein?
been anyone's game.
Eu acho que se você manda o seu em cima do meu, eu acho que o seu pegava.
They're still
Sangue de
hungry.
Jesus.
Both sides stepping up for the rematch.
Ah, velho, eu não tô sabendo mandar Shoryuken, cara. Que isso?
Medium kick hit. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Gets back into the corner with pressure building. Player 1 needs to deal with this burnout. Sticks the combo. Got their eye on the air. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes.
Morri.
They saw the chip KO on the table. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Tá me dando dor de cabeça essa narração sua aí, cara.
Jump.
Vamos tirar depois, vamos tirar, pô.
Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner kick. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. The attack is parried. Breaks their guard with a throw. Here comes the mix-up. A trade, but they're not worried. Fuha's there to give them even better returns on their investment.
Nossa, Yuri, você arrancou meu negócio, velho.
Barely
Oi?
blocks the
Você
jump in.
arrancou meu gancho.
They decided to take a breather
Caralho.
to regroup. Drive rush to keep it going.
Ai!
Gets a risky buff in. Knockout and will that parry change the momentum of this match? Max SA Gate ends the meter, hoping for a good
Vai escalonar muito, mano.
Unlimited cycle crusher. Free history lesson. This move always hurts. Both sides getting ready. Devil's reverse. Break through with the throw. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Os caras tão boladinhos, ficam jogando pra Street Fighter, tô botando no
These
top.
two are really getting into it. Decides to puff up while they can. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge?
Ah,
The drive impact gives them
não
a
faz
sweet
isso nada,
pressure.
não foda assim, velho.
The combo's there.
Bate lá.
Player 2
Que
has
isso,
used
cara?
up all of their drive gauge. Both players with no drive
Só
gauge
erro, só bando de
takes
erro.
a trip.
Só
Player
erro.
2 chases them down. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach?
Essa foi
or
boa,
bait each other out?
essa foi
Player
boa. Eles
2
falam que,
is almost dead, but some clutch drive moves and a few prayers can turn this rough
eles
count
falam
to
que
gold.
é bom esse negócio do Bison aí. Isso podia
Player
ter
one
nerfado ele não,
picks
né,
up
velho?
the always important first
Bicho
round.
Tá
amaldiçoado.
doido, Papão. O cara é forte pra caramba, cara.
Não é nada, é uma merda esse bicho.
Ah,
Saw that coming.
Olha que demônio.
Você nerfado,
Farofa.
você é doido?
Did well to get the buff in there. Answers that jump in with a perfectly timed parry. They made it look easy. Player 1 has a slight life lead. Barely blocks the jump in. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Player 1 will need to play it conservative until their drive recovers.
Só isso, mano. O pé não pega, nada pega. Mano.
Player 1 in dire straits with burnout. Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Experiencing burnout. Both fighters are out of drive. Might be a good idea to back off, but they might try something. What? Anti-air. Throws them. Oh, here we go. What impact? What? Pumps the brakes on the impact. What chisels them down. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Did well to get the buff in there. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Okay,
Aye.
we're in the early stages of the round. That overhead was a bit obvious. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. A drive rush to try and keep up the attack. Trips them up. Will the drive parry here open things up for them? Taking stock. Player 2 creates a good
não,
corner opportunity.
Ele não foi porra nenhuma agora.
Player 2 on the board
Tô
first with
defendendo,
the
tomei a
win.
porrada
They'll want to
da
keep the
porrada.
pressure on. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Jump,
Caralho!
breaks the block with a throw. What'll happen here? Player 2 has the life lead. Can they use it? Jumps in, decides to go
Ai.
fancy on that jump in, and takes care of it with a perfect parry. Player
Meu
1
Deus, eu voei, caralho! Filha da puta!
Player 1 holding on to that corner advantage. Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work.
Oxi!
Are we going to see a comeback here? This is burnout activate.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, como é que não pegou especial, cara? Ah, jogo lixo, cara.
Mata, né? Não é pra ser não, Yuri.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, bagulho feio, cara.
Quando não é pra ser, não é pra ser não. Só farofa, viado. Só farofa. Por que não pegou o meu também? Isso é desgraça. Tá de parar, mano. Agora já desanimou eu. Desanimou, a ficha era minha, pô.
Ah, o bicho era minha, o jogo todo ninguém deu.
Olha isso, velho.
comes the corner pressure. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player 2.
Que isso? Perdeu meu balão, cara! Meu Deus!
Really had to fight for that one. No shortage of
Caralho, jogo merda, mano.
They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first.
Porra, foi essa, velho?
Neither of them willing to back off here. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Can they use the corner to mount a comeback? Goes for the throw. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. The fighters are matching each other move for move going into the midway point of the match. Smart throw.
Papai tá jogando, filho.
Impacts a no-go. Springs forward with the drive rush. There's the wall splash. They can't do anything now. Player 1 in trouble with no drive. This is a critical point of the round where they just need to go for it.
Mandei especial, mano.
Corner throw ends it.
Nossa, tá me fazendo raiva, velho. Na moral mesmo, velho.
Always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Trying to read each other here? This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. Jump? What's the next move? Blocks the impact. Connect. Oh, burnout triggered. Knockdown.
Burro!
Player 1 will look to apply pressure. Big snipe. Scrapping it out up close. Player KO. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Jump! Here comes the corner. There's the wall splash. They can't do anything now. Jump! Anti-air in the clutch. Expect to see some fancy stuff as blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. What's next? How did they read that throw? Player 1, huge chance after that wall splash. Okay, here we go. Not looking good. The corner's a mad place to be. All in with a rush. Yes, the corner's loose. It might be some time for. There's a burnout. Play forward throw. Laying the pressure on things. Turns out. And they burn out in sync.
Cara, mandou balão no vento, eu não consegui punir o cara, velho.
They are not getting close to each other.
São coisas, ó, não dá pra
This
você.
is gonna hurt. Ooh, what a smart throw. Player 1 can't let this simmer.
Ai, quase eu morro, velho.
Notice, oh, huge net.
Corri.
With a rush. Excellent block. The pressure must be driving them nuts. The reaction.
Ah, Yuri, falta muita coisa ainda, velho. Você tá morto. Deu um chute no final. Caralho.
Tá vendo muito sufoco, mano. Muito sufoco, mano.
Um detalhe, me dá uma raiva. Se eu estivesse matando ainda tranquilo, me dá um ódio quando eu tenho chance e não consigo matar. Porra,
Lots of Fuhawk bands and plenty of avenues to race through. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Opts for the throw. What's the play here?
meu Deus do céu, moleque.
Corner opportunity. Great work finding the opening. Strings it all together, and the throw ends the round. Player 1 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Good job blocking and jumping. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Reads their mind and texts the throw. Player 1 is going. Oh, burnout triggered. Gets the jump in. Player 1 in dire straits with burnout. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? What'll happen here? Charges forward. Opts to continue the attack with the drive. both fighters planning something? Player 2 needs to use the threat of the
Aí,
burnout
meu velho.
activate.
Isso é lindo demais. Aí eu falo que é jogada. Mata a linha, vai.
Burnout! Expect the tempo of the
Aí, ó.
match to change.
Coisa mais linda do mundo. É isso.
Dead off this super? It's too close to call.
That felt good, didn't it?
And it's just enough. Solid read on the bars. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Perdi com as fichas ali, já me irritou, acabou.
Right back into the
That's fine.
rematch. We ain't even close to done.
Deixa minha.
Shows the medium kick. Solid combo. Takes him all the way to the corner with that. Finds the time to squeeze in a buff. Perfect air to air. No good up high. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Spends the gauge on the drive rush. The jump in is denied. Player 2 chases. This is a huge chance to make a feel. Drive gauge finally recovers. Oh,
Quero
easy
inventar
tech.
coisa.
Very solid punishment. Life lead opens up. Jumps in. Burnout activates. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner. This is a critical point of the round where they drive rush to keep it going. Player 1 has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still within range to win this round.
Jogamos demais, velho.
Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Blocks it. The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Holds out with the block. With this
Fiz isso
super
não, ele.
connect,
Meu
takes
Deus.
a big gamble.
Olha
and
isso,
hits on
cara.
a raw super.
Meu
Tells them to
Deus,
negate
velho.
the block. Oh, burnout triggered. Scrapping it out up close. Going in, player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Max SA gauges. Unbelievable. Uses the gauge for a super on. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here.
Good, isn't it?
Ooh, they're gonna feel that. Here we go. Getting in home on the drive rush. Guys, they gotta get in there. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Oh, they haven't gotten their fill just yet. We're running it back. The throw connects for counter hit damage.
Tô segurando assim não, babão. Você vai se
No
ferrar.
good up high.
Ah, agora eu vou ficar assim igual doido. Não dá certo nada que eu faço.
Use a drive rush like that
Aí,
there
você
to
defende
maintain
tudo.
the pressure.
Pra cima. Pra
Player
cima.
2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Stop the attack by using the drive thing. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out?
Talvez dê certo fazendo isso.
Sticks the combo. Player 2, big KO.
Pronto. Fica igual um pateta te esperando olhando pra sua cara. Vamos pra cima, igual um maluco. Tá melhor que
Keep
mim.
the ball rolling. Opts to create space to start. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Did well to get the buff in there. Smacks him with the back fist. Looking for more damage now. Uses the target combo as a filler. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Experiencing burnout. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation.
Meu Deus do céu. Tudo na prioridade. Boneco alto.
Manages to block the jump in attack. Knocks them out of the air. And they did all in with a rush. What'll happen? KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow up here? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. With the forward throw, the battle in the corner, perfect parry to stop them. Time to go on the offensive. What are they thinking? Huh? Jump in, finds the mark.
Ai, que ódio.
What's next? Player 1 is in burnout. Drives off the table. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover or are they in trouble here? They break things off to take a quick breather. Player 2 chases them down. That this combo hits a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Player 1 can't afford mistakes without that drive.
Ah, porra!
Player 2
Caramba, mano.
picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
The opening on that impact.
Fiz isso não, mano. Eu juro por Deus, eu não fiz isso não,
Did well to
capeta.
get the buff in there. Burnout activates. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Risky up-close scrap still going. Shows a medium kick.
Olha isso, cara.
Ah, mano, vai, desiste. Eu não vou jogar mais não, esse demônio.
Experiencing
Ah,
burnout.
tomar no cu, caralho.
Jumps up burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to tank. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Pokes with a medium kick. Shadow Ride. It's Devil's Reverse. Player 2 has the chance to win the round if they can quit their going in with Devil's Reverse. Medium kick.
Ah, não graça não.
Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Fight. Round. Fight.
Sticks out plunge, perfect parry under pressure. Throws him. Jump drops him hard. Breaks the block with a throw. One step ahead of that. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. The throw is denied. Drops them. All
Meu
throws
Deus do
next.
céu.
Looking for a hold. Oh my God, what a throw set! Punish counter on the action! Putting the cherry on top! Is it time for pleasure? Time for pain? As far as Yuri's concerned, their time is the same! I'll suspend the meter on the super! The jump in is denied! They're taking a step back to slow down the pace.
Fiz isso não,
Okay,
capeta.
well now that is a punish!
Nossa.
Unlimited Psycho Crusher hit! It may not be Tuesday, but your fans are gonna remember this!
Loser! Olha a vida que se arrancou.
Was this it? Are you kidding me? Player
Vai apertar o
1
botão.
made some smart moves there! Great game! It's not over yet! Let's believe it's time for that run back! Grabs and throws him away. Decides to drive rush to keep it going. The jump in is denied. Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. Blocks the jump in. What are they thinking here? Player 1 is in burnout.
Só você,
Drives
mano.
off the table.
Isso que é gostoso.
Gets back into the corner. Nice, perfect parry there. What'll they do next? Takes a trip. Snares him. Very solid corner switch. Drive gauge finally recovered.
Ô, pai.
Baits out the
Morreu.
attack and gets the punish counter. Player 2 hits a good spot to use the super. Knee press nightmare hits him. Who will capitalize on an opening first? Okay, creating some space here. Opts for Shadow Ride.
Ah, eu sabia que você ia arrancar toda a vida assim, não,
Player
gente?
2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Stop the attack by using the drive parry. Who will gain control of the match in the early going?
Caralho, como é
Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. The quarter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Player 1 holding on to that quarter advantage. Genius read.
Que isso, mulher
Still
ficou
slugging
andando,
it out at
velho.
this range. Oh, burnout triggered.
Caraca.
Breaks the block with a throw. Max FA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Breaks it. Snacks him with a back kick. Looking for more damage than a super art. Oh, let's go.
animação do capeta, né, velho?
Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Final round. Fight.
Catches them out. Flashes the blue to stop the jump. Connects with the throw. Rushes that off and keeps going. Pokes
Olha
with
isso, a
the
mulher é
kick.
mais rápida, não tem como não.
They're taking a
Bota
step
Rio
back to
depois.
slow down the
Vamos ver
pace.
se ela...
With super arts into play, it's really anything goes at this point. They push their way out, throws them. Okay, here we go. Knocked them out of the air. Sees the overhead coming. Burn out, but they may have a plan here. More fuel to the fire.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, de novo, velho.
All in with the
De novo.
Eu desisto, mano.
player two connects
Eu
with
desisto,
the
eu desisto.
throw.
Chega. Vou
Oh,
jogar
here
mais.
we go.
Desiste, imagina eu.
Are we gonna see a comeback here? This is reach the throw and escape. A real test of nerves here. Medium kick. Oh, burnout. They mean to do that?
Chega, não dá não.
Stun. Flatline.
Vou fechar 10, pô.
Ah, desanimei, mano. Não
Player
consigo
one
fazer como.
gets the win in
Consigo,
a
moleque,
convincing
tira
fashion.
tudo.
They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch.
Animação.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. They timed that just right to get the perfect pair. Throws them to negate the block. Player two.
Que capeta, eu agarrei, porra.
Deal some damage with that quick combo. Player two is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Had the radar up and running. Player one needs to use what little drive they have left effectively. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out?
Fiz isso não, mano. Fiz isso não, mano.
Holds out with the block. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. The fighters return to... Were they baiting them into that? Player two has depleted their drive. There's a wall spot. They can't do anything now. KO.
Pegando pra isso, vai tomar no
Player
cu.
one with the first strike, but they can't
Nem
get the place.
especial eu não jogo.
Shows a medium kick. Are we going to see some fireworks here? He turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. That drive impact doesn't get through. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some drive rush to keep it going. Genius read. Jumps in. You've gotta be much. Springs forward with the drive rush. This is a turning point. They gotta turn it around. There's a wall splat. They can't do
Pô,
anything
presta
now.
atenção, mano. Ele fica igual
Ah,
um...
para, velho, para. Parei com isso.
This is leading
Parei.
to big damage. This is a
Parei.
complete shutdown. They can't escape all the
Parei
throws
com
next. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Sai-Hasho! Perfect execution with the anti-air.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, rapaz. 3 nível 3 meu já gasto por essa porra.
All in from this
Por quê? Não pega não ali? Não pega!
O quê?
Não pega ou você tá errando?
Claro que pega, eu tô mandando você toda hora, cara.
wants to do first.
Esse jogo tá de sacanagem com a minha cara, rapaz.
Player two put out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Ooh, what a smart throw! Okay, here we go. All stopped up. Where's the full hop gonna come into play? Like, there's a
Era
burnout.
pra
The
te
throw.
punir, cara. Era pra mim poder te punir ali, cara.
Dangerous range here. Into the sky. Amazing. Player
Olha.
one is in a very good spot.
Morri.
Rounds him from a flatline zone.
Só o sangue do capeta mesmo, ó, velho. Que bom.
That was catch as catch can. as
Vou
you're gonna
trocar,
get
ô
the
Papão.
Tá doido, não dá certo não. Eu acho que eu vou parar, velho. Muito sinto.
Que isso, mas já não, vou trocar de personagem.
Não dá certo, nada certo, velho. O que eu faço? Meu boneco tô dropando um monte de combo, pô.
Ah, mano, você tá jogando nervoso, alguma coisa acontecendo, mano.
É não, rapaz. Só com você acontece capeta. Tava jogando até agora tranquilo, tudo sai. Dropando combo igual um demônio. Aí, ó, bota essa desgraça aí que é melhor.
Ah, mano, bora sim, só que tem um problema, cara. Eu fui tentar jogar 2 vezes, o jogo não tá rodando direito comigo, não.
You better have your Sunday's best on because it's time for business.
Pera aí, rapidinho, ô Papão. Mata eu agora não.
Cry for mercy. Round one. Fight.
Let's see see what they try to do here in the first round.
Meu Jesus
Checking their
Cristo,
opponent.
repreendido, maldito.
Bora.
Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move where you're going to eat tons of damage. Knockdown. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Impacts are no-go. Was looking for that jump attack.
Que isso, velho?
Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Throws them to negate the block. One combo can end with experiencing burnout. Player 1 ends the round with a
Por que você
sick
acerta sempre o golpe primeiro, cara? Eu fico impressionado a velocidade que você acerta o golpe primeiro. Eu faço,
Você é
você já
golpe,
fez.
eu vou do chute médio, mano.
Hopes with a medium kick. Who's going to start things off? Player 2 chases them down. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Grabs and throws them away. Springs forward with a drive rush. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Devil's Earth. What's the next move? They gotta press here to take advantage of this drive gap. Player 1 will burnout action.
Meu Deus, você só fica forçando isso, cara. É isso que me mata de ódio. Tomar no cu, cara. Só toma essa desgraça, mano. Eu não consigo reverter esse capeta.
Faz o seguinte, Papão.
Satanás, eu tenho que botar no treino e ficar revertendo isso aí, ó. Quando o cara faz o Drive Impact.
Presta atenção.
Inferno, cara.
Ô, presta atenção. Você tá tentando reverter, apertando o mesmo botão junto, né?
Que pega no botão,
É.
rapaz. Tô nem tentando, não, porque é tão rápido que não dá nem pra.
Ah, quando você vê meu boneco brilhando, você dá 2 soquinhos fracos e aperta pra usar. 2 soquinhos fracos e aperta pra usar.
Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're gonna eat tons of damage. Player 1 chases them down. The move whiffs and they get nailed with a punish counter. Holds out with a block. Throws them to negate the block. They trade hits, and now KO. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Everything up until now, and everything from here on out is so vital. Player 2 got completely shut out that round. Can they make a comeback? Anti-air drops him. A parry? Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. There's the
Satanás, faz mil vezes, toma mil vezes.
Ah, pelo amor de Deus, velho.
Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with a meter.
Fazendo raiva isso, meu Shoryuken não sai, mas o especial sai.
This combo hits and we got trouble coming. Are we gonna see a comeback? Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Player 2 connects with the throw. Blocks it. There's the drive
adianta,
impact
Yuri,
going to
tenta aí.
lead to a juicy punish counter. The next touch may decide this round. Wall
Mil
slam
vezes pra
into
fazer.
the guard break.
De novo. Ah.
Sai não, não sai.
That was Texas Can as you're gonna get in the fight.
Tá bom, outra coisa também, cara. Se estiver no canto, tiver com barra especial, bufera. Ó, cai assim, ó.
Will they take it?
Vai.
Que, caralho?
Não, vou te falar o que eu tava fazendo. Vai, usa aí. Ó, viu?
Eu sei, mano, mas não sai, caralho. Na hora que
Vai,
tá
quer
no
ver, ó.
canto,
Vou mandar, hein. No 3. 1, 2, 3. Não, aí é boa.
Você fez o outro, não?
1, 2, 3. Viu?
Mano, eu sei, mano, mas não tá saindo, rapaz. É isso que eu tô falando na hora no canto ali, cara.
Deixa eu barra pra nós continuar a
Who's it
luta.
gonna be?
Todo amaldiçoado, satanás.
One in the pocket. Neither fighter wants to get
Vamos,
stuck in this
vamos,
corner as they continue to
Bora.
duke it out mid-stage. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Tons of drive and health to work with. We're at the halfway point of the round, and both fighters should be well past the warm-up phase. Takes a trip. definitely answers air attack. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy KO. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out is so vital. Jump. Medium kick. Takes all the way to the corner with that. Opts to continue the attack with the drive. Springs forward with the drive rush. That combo did decent damage. Both
Caralho.
planning something. Good awareness on the cross. Wreck them. How will they utilize this? Oh no, they're stunned. Noticeable life lead is a cup connects with the throw. Perfect tech. Medium kick.
Era minha chance de te matar.
What a read with that
Merda!
We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Opens with a jump in. Godlike parry. All the throw connects. Player 2 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. We're just getting started here. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now.
Vou ficar bom nisso.
Going in, crowns them from above. Burn out, but they may have a plan here. Player snipe.
Errando tudo de Ryu, cara.
Player 1 is in a very good spot.
Meu Deus do céu.
Oh, they switch sides. The jump throws them. And a drive wraps it up with a throw.
Capeta, boneco não para de bater não, cara. Só soquinho, 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 acabou. Soco médio, soquinho, chute médio, caralho.
Você sabe que não é isso, né? Você sabe que não é isso.
Você viu no canto que você fez comigo ali? Por que o meu soco médio não tromba? Nem tromba! Não, eu tô batendo. Você acha que eu não tô batendo?
Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach?
Olha,
Both fighters are
tá errado.
unscathed. Knockdown. Player 1 pushes the opponent into
Bomba, corre isso, overhead.
the drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak.
Sem jogar mais não.
Player 1 doesn't have a lot of
Balada.
drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Oh, easy tech. Player 2 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive.
Coloquei o Ryu super nervoso, mano.
Tô nervoso, não tô nervoso dele, aquela boneca sua lá. Tô errando um monte de combo. Um monte de combo pra matar o demônio.
Try and change the situation.
Onde você não?
Goes for the drive rush there. Both fighters
Olha,
are looking for a
qual
way
é a minha
to
vez
win,
aí?
but
Meu
they're
Deus.
still
Agora
trying to
é.
change the
Nem isso,
situation.
nem era ainda.
Throws them. What's next? Active combo in. He's got trouble coming. Charges forward. Connects him with the back stick. Looking for more damage now. Blocks it. Going in. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? All in with a rush. Oh, burnout trigger.
Ah, vai pro capeta, mata esse demônio aí.
Que isso, papão? Não, vamos jogar, mano. Vai doideira, rapaz. Aí, tá vendo como é que você é?
Ah, vamos, vamos.
Stunned off the wall. Player 1 with the rhythm owning that space. This is gonna kill. No doubt about it. That amazing
O
never
boneco pulando lá pro
say
demônio.
die.
Ah, não tem como jogar essa peste não.
That was catch can as you're gonna get in a fight.
Ué? Entendi não, né?
A sala tá bugada. Não existe aquilo dali não. E 2 socos, o boneco vai pular pra trás.
Tava bugada! Essa foi boa, hein?
Você viu eu na minha vez de bater o meu boneco, pra me comer seu cu ali, o boneco pulou lá no demônio pra trás diagonal?
2 vezes.
Demônio aqui dentro desse controle,
See what they
Satanás
try
tá
to
aqui
do here in the
mesmo.
first round. Tries to bait him with the projectile. You can use a drive rush like that there to maintain the pressure. Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match going to go?
Meu Deus do céu, quando que vai ser minha vez, Jesus Cristo? Quando?
Knockdown. Player 1 has them legit shook in the corner. No. Hold your breath. punish counter. This could lead to something big. Sticks the combo. Oh, easy tech. Perfect. Takes the round without getting touched. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Hits them in the gut. Player 1 does the math,
Nossa!
shows their work, and busts out
Caralho,
the
que lindo, viado.
Super plus corner spin.
Tem jeito de bater, não.
Looking to impress with this super.
Só ele.
Level 3 super.
Chega perto, o cara corta no soquinho, mano. Arranca tudo. Meu Deus.
Caralho, eu não aguento, velho, esse cara jogando.
Looking for a chance.
Ai, canteira, mano. Tá nervoso, cara.
No time to finish that fight.
Porra, um chutinho fraco no alto, do nada.
How is this rematch
Ai,
going to
que
play out?
ódio.
Are we going to witness a blow up here? Have the radar up and running. Decides to meet them in the air. Will the drive parry here open things up for them? Uses a drive parry against the attack. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. Both sides looking for an opening. Battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. Alright. Tons of drive and health to work with. Both players have near empty super art gauges. Whoever can build theirs up first may have a big advantage here. The attack is parried.
Meu Deus do
It's a
céu.
trip. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important.
Aí, porra, graças a
Pô,
Deus.
só correndo faz isso.
Adds on a bit extra
Só
to
correndo
that,
faz
and
isso.
sure the opponent walks away with a full plate.
Maluco.
Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity.
Esse negócio 20 vezes com você,
Their
mano.
eye on the air. That is combo hit, and we got trouble coming. Even with both fighters burn out, this may be the time to strike and take the round. Both fighters planning something? Closing moments of the match. What hit's gonna do it? Player 1 has depleted their drive game, but they are still within range to win this round.
Ah, se eu defendo.
Player 2 picks up the
Chega de
first
brincar, né,
round.
mano?
That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Brincar, você não são, pelo amor de Deus, tem lixo.
Immediate jumping. Who's going to start things off?
Ó, já descobriu uma coisa, ó.
Things are still going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Going springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Both fighters have a super meter on
Você tá sem barra, tá em burnout. É especial, não usa. Que isso, cara? Não entendo, mano.
Both fighters planning something?
Parece que você não quer ganhar a luta, velho.
Oh, no, they're stunned. How will they utilize this? Drive usage is back on the table.
Olha, não sai, cara! Não sai! Esse demônio! Ah, vai pro inferno!
Really tip the scale.
Demônio, foi maneiro, hein?
Noticeable life lead is a comeback.
Aí, tudo vai vir.
Player 2, they couldn't tech the throw. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Para.
Que isso, Papão?
Who's
Yeah.
going to steal this
Tô
round?
parado aí do nada.
Jump. The match just started. It's anyone's game. Knockdown and it'll be interesting to see how they decide to fill up their super art gauges here. Throws them.
Ó, já sei seu jogo, já sei o que vai fazer.
All in with a rush.
Peguei seu jogo já.
Okay, here we go. Player 1 is barely hanging on to their last bit of drive. Burns out. A jump? No way. No signs of running up from out of the corner. Only the best of players can come back from this. Back into the corner. Lynching. Closes it out. Ooh, I dare you to find me a better match than that.
Não, vou jogar só mais uma aqui, hein?
O quê?
It's
jogar
not
pode.
over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Throws a fireball.
Essa aqui é pra bagaçar, vambora.
Holds out with the block.
Ai, meu Deus, parece que já sabe, o demônio.
Denies the attack and player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Okay, creating some space here. Burnout is triggered. the round, ending it with a powerful drive-in. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Nice tech. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. Experiencing burnout. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Shows the medium kick. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Clint busts out the parry. Breaks the block with a throw. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages hits them with a stop.
Tô com medo, né? Não sai mais o negócio.
A Shogeki, and now links it. Burnout
E
activated.
porra! Caralho!
There's the
Mostra quem é o papão de verdade.
into a juicy punish counter. That combo finishes
Caralho,
it.
tá um lixo.
This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Final round. Fight.
A jump in. Snacks him with a back kick. Looking gets him with a Euro jump. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Impact, squat, and whips. They're wide open. What's
Eita
next?
porra, bomba!
All in with a rush. Looking for a oh, putting the cherry on top. Didn't hesitate going for the kill with that super. Did not miss that
Mano,
chance.
você tá
and
jogando
takes
muito
the
bem,
round.
mas você tá ficando muito nervoso, mano. Tem que parar com isso.
Que isso? Ocorreu um problema durante a partida.
Não, é porque eu saí do jogo, pô.
Ah,
Tá jogando muito, viado. Você aprendeu muita coisa, rapaz.
aprendi o caralho que eu aprendi.
Ah, aprendeu
aprendi
sim,
a xingar
Papao.
mais, eu acho. Que...
Ô, sabe qual é o negócio, mano? É porque você não tá acostumado a enfrentar aquela bonequinha igual a minha, aquela Yuri. Entendeu? Você não tá acostumado a enfrentar muito Ryu,
Tô nada.
entendeu?
Ajuda tua mesmo não, a Ryu.
Então, não, mano, mas pô, é isso, cara. Você tem que.
Você joga com quem,
treinar
God?
Oi?
Você joga God com quem?
Joga com um colega meu aqui, tá mexendo no saco desde cedo.
Pô, God é maneiro, né, velho?
É, pô, mas tipo assim, o jogo ficou muito ruim, cara.
Você acha, pô? Como assim?
Mexeram no jogo, o jogo tá muito ruim, mudaram as armas do jogo. Tá muito estranho. Acho que apitou. Daí vou lá ver. Daí o meu travesseiro.
Mudou o que do jogo? A voz?
Mudou as armas, mudou um monte de coisa, mano.
Ah, mas tá bom. Quando eu comprar um cabo, aquele outro cabo, DP, aí eu volto a brincar desse jogo. Porque o meu aqui é HDMI, aí o frame é só 60. Aquele DP dá 240.
Não, pô, não é só 60 não, mano. Você tá enganado.
O meu aqui,
enganado.
o meu aqui só dá
Tá
60,
enganado.
parece o frame aqui, FPS aqui, ó, 60. Quando é o outro,
Não.
aparece 120, 140.
Presta
130,
atenção, presta
200.
atenção. Deixa eu te falar um negócio aqui. Deixa eu te ensinar, eu acho que você não sabe ainda. A sua tela é de 240, né?
240.
Isso, 240. Se você usa um cabo HDMI, você pode colocar no 240, que ele não vai te dar 240. Ele vai te
Não?
dar 180, 120.
Isso.
Entendeu?
Sim.
Mas pra um jogo de tiro, 120 é perfeito, cara. É perfeito. Se você quiser jogar, você pode jogar, entendeu?
Mas deixa eu falar, mas tem que mexer então.
É, tem que mexer.
Ah,
Porque eu te ajudo aí se você quiser.
tá, eu não sabia disso não. Porque o DP aqui não tá dando certo não, ô, bicho. Qualquer coisa com o vento. Lembra que eu passava dificuldade do caralho, que o vento
Eu lembro,
batia
então
aqui?
desconectava.
Isso. Rapaz, me matava. Ou o cabo era porcaria do caralho, ou não sei.
É brabo, mano. Te entendo.
Valeu, amor.
Valeu,
Obrigado
mano. Tamo junto.
pelo cacete.
Não, doido, pá, doideira.
Falou.